Make sure.
Show me your hands.
This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video here on the Junkyard News. And in today's video news story, we have a video and a news release coming out of Topeka, Kansas, where a family there, after fighting for over 2 years just for transparency in trying to expose the false narrative that their loved one was ended by Topeka police, has finally been granted by a judge the body cam video that actually does just that. It has exposed the false narrative that the government officials put out to justify the actions of their officers in this life-ending event. Now, this incident happened way back in 2022, and now the family of a Kansas man has finally received and released body camera video of an encounter with Topeka police and their loved one in an effort to dispute the police narrative of events that happened. Now, the family of Taylor Lowry obtained the footage after a federal magistrate judge ordered the city to relinquish it as part of a wrongful death lawsuit filed back in August. Now, Lowry, 33, who passed at the scene after 5 officers had discharged their weapons 34 times at the man. Now, the initial narrative claimed that Lowry had a knife in his possession. Actually, he was holding a knife, and he had charged at an officer, causing one officer to discharge his firearm, which, again, once one officer discharges their firearm, what does everybody else do? Nobody wants to miss out on that paid vacation chance. They all open fire. And again, the family has fought for over 2 years for transparency to try to expose the false narrative that Taylor's end was a result of him running at a police officer with a knife. Now, the mother of Lowry's only child, who is serving as an administrator for his estate, has accused Topeka police in the lawsuit of neglecting to properly train its officers, including how to de-escalate situations and take steps to prevent the risk of excessive use of force being used on people. The suit had sought the release of the body cam videos, which the city refused to do in early of 2023 after the Shawnee County District Attorney's Office announced that there would be no criminal charges in the passing of Lowry, and that the use of force applied by each of the 5 named officers was reasonable and lawful. Now, the Kansas Open Records Act does allow government agencies to shield police body cam footage from the public amid investigations. However, the agency can agree to permit certain interested parties, like lawyers and family, to watch footage and may charge viewing fees to do just that. Now, in December, a U.S. magistrate judge ruled in favor of the family in their pursuit to obtain actual copies of the videos, rejecting the city's argument that a protective order should keep them confidential. The judge wrote, "To the extent officer body cam footage is at issue, courts tend to exclude such footage from protective orders based on the public's strong interest in transparency of public incidents." Now, Saunders was initially able to view the body cam footage with Duncan in the weeks after the shooting, but the family had wanted its own copies of the video as part of the discovery process in their lawsuit. Now, just watching a video to show family and attorneys what actually happened is one thing, but you can't do anything just watching. You have to actually get the video yourself, because that's what makes the point in the court of public opinion or any other place. It all comes down to the First Amendment. Now, following the shooting, when this happened, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation came out and said in a news release that Lowry had advanced towards officers holding a knife. The body cam video obtained by the family shows that Lowry was bending down and grabbed a wrench, a socket wrench, at the moment that gunshots were fired.
But we keep trying, can't stop, won't stop lying. It's like we're just denying the reality, saying it's gonna be alright.
It also shows that the knife they accused him of holding was nowhere near him. It was actually, I'm estimating, about 8 to 10 yards away from him at the feet of another police officer. So if it's on the ground at the feet of a police officer who's standing 8 to 10 yards away, how can he be holding it and charging at an officer with it? Now, the city of Topeka declined to comment on the allegations in the lawsuit, citing the pending litigation, of course. That's standard, but did say that law enforcement officers face dangerous and unpredictable situations every day, risking their lives and mental well-being to provide safety and protection to our community, and we will continue to vigorously defend our officers in this matter. And in a response to the family's amended lawsuit filed with the court last month, the city denied that the officers were unjustified in the shooting, but said it admits that after the initial round of shots, the knife remained on the ground near Lowry throughout the conclusion of the incident. But you can see in the body cam video that I'm going to show you, I'll probably even put an image on the screen while I'm talking to you right now, the knife in question is nowhere near him. So exactly what happened in this case? Well, police had responded to a call at around 12:30 a.m. as Lowry's sister, who was barricaded in a room, had called and told 911 that her brother had taken some type of substance and was not acting normal. And he wanted her keys, but she didn't want to give the keys to him. So he grabbed the knife and was trying to pick the lock of her door to get her keys from her. And when police showed up, Lowry attempted to flee, and at that time it did seem like he did have a knife and he did have a socket wrench in his hands, but the police didn't fire their weapons at him at that point. The family suit points that Lowry was not threatening or aggressive with the officers at all during the encounter at the home, and the officers at that point didn't deem it necessary to fire any of their weapons. Now, Lowry at one point was able to get keys and jump in a vehicle and ended up driving to a gas station, which was the end of the pursuit. Police body cam video shows a frenzied situation in the moments before the shooting, with multiple officers already on the scene as well as more arriving. Now, the knife and wrench in question were already on the ground, and as officers ordered him to get down on the ground, an officer can be seen on one of the videos appearing to try to push him to get him to lose his balance. But at that point, I have to ask you, where are the tasers? Where is the less lethal beanbag rounds? Where is the non-lethal tools that you were given to try to apprehend this man? Sure, this Mr. Lowry is a pretty big guy, but you have tools at your disposal other than your service weapon to try to detain this man for your investigation. Now, when the officers refused to use less lethal and continued to bark orders at him to get on the ground, it does appear to me that they were waiting for a chance to fire their service weapons. I mean, why wouldn't you use the tools available, the less lethal, the taser? What are you waiting for? He doesn't have the knife. He doesn't even have the socket wrench. It's on the ground. What are you waiting for? He's unarmed. I'll tell you what they were waiting for. They were waiting for him to make a move that would justify what happened. And what happened is exactly what they were hoping would happen, in my opinion. Lowry bends over to pick up the socket wrench. Again, the knife is nowhere near him, but he picks up the socket wrench, and as he picks it up, an officer fears for his safety and fires his weapon. Paid vacation. And you know, all the other officers that are there pointing their service weapons at him as well don't want to miss out on that opportunity, so they discharge as well. 34 times. At a man who has nothing on him other than a socket wrench. Comment what you think below. Thank you again for watching this video by the Junkyard News. You have to come to your own conclusion, but I think you know what my conclusion is. BS. Be careful, people, I'm telling you, or we may be highlighting a video and a news story about you and your interaction with a Leo in the next one.